Yo, it's F. Gardner. Yeah, so I've had a lot of great feedback from my episode where I talked about flat Earth and other conspiracies that like I believe, and people really seem to like that episode. So I was thinking about that, and I thought, oh yeah, F. Gardner, here's another good idea. Talk about how North Korea doesn't really exist. That's one I was made aware of like relatively recently, and I wasn't sure what to think of it at first. It sounded crazy at first, just as how any conspiracy theory initially sounds crazy. It's just the way, it's a natural reaction to think when you hear any conspiracy, you think, oh, that's crazy. There's no way. Like, why would they do that? I think first off, it's to make everybody like afraid, and like this like constant threat of nuclear war. Like I think that like this is just to like drive up the fear, like, and everything like that. So, and you wouldn't really even be able to tell if you went to Korea. How would you know if you're in North Korea or South Korea? So it's like you fly there, you fly to Korea. How would you know if you're in North Korea or South Korea? It would be based on what everybody's telling you, unless all of a sudden Kim Jong Un suddenly walked in the room, but he could just be an actor. Like, how would you know? Like, it just, like, yeah, you could tell it's him, but how you would have no proof that he's really like this dictator and everything like that. He could just be an actor to like play that role, and like, because the only proof that like North Korea is real is like Dennis Rodman, for example. Like, he claims he's been to North Korea and he's like really friends with Kim Jong Un, and they play basketball or something like that together for fun. And I don't know, maybe Dennis Rodman maybe he's like a cool guy and everything. I don't know. I'm not saying he's not, but like, yeah, I mean, like, I grew up in the '90s, so I can remember. And I'm from Chicago, so I can remember the Chicago Bulls and everything. Dennis Rodman. He's playing basketball with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and yeah, they were like the Justice League, like basketball. They're cool. Everybody liked them. So maybe he's a cool guy. I'm not saying Dennis Rodman's not, but like, or it's even possible that maybe he doesn't even know. Maybe he was deceived too. Like, and this only really just like dawned on me now, like that is a possibility. So like, maybe it's the exact situation like I described. Like, maybe it was like that. Like, he got flown. He flew over, or maybe he has his private jet, whatever. He flies over to North Korea, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna meet this Kim Jong Un guy and bring world peace. And if that's what he really wanted, like, great. That's cool. Like, maybe he is a good guy. Dennis Rodman, and he's trying to, like, he's thinking, man, I gotta save the world. I gotta stop this. I gotta, Kim Jong Un, maybe like he thinks like, yeah, maybe there's good in him and I could change him. And then he thought, I just need to become like friends with Kim Jong Un and shoot some hoops with him, whatever. And then they become friends, and he convinces him not to start a war or whatever. Maybe that was his deal or his plan. And like, so like, maybe he flew there, and so he gets flown to, he's like, yo, I want to fly to North Korea and fix this. I'm going to stop the war or a potential war, whatever. So he does that, and it's like a fake, like town or city, and he gets off the plane, and they're like, oh, Dennis Rodman, you're North Korea. And he's like, oh, cool, yeah. And then Kim Jong Un walks in the room. But if that happened, this is a hypothetical scenario I'm painting. But if that happened, how would he not know that how would he know that if he's in North Korea or South Korea? He wouldn't be able to tell. It's just because everybody's telling him that. It's like, so like, the Truman Show, that movie, right? Great movie. It's like one of the best movies. But that movie has like little clues about like the way the world really is, because this is a little bit off topic, but it's related. So like Truman Show, that movie's about flat Earth. Truman lives in a dome, and he travels to the Antarctic ice wall. There is a barrier he can't leave, and he gets out, And yeah, by the way, Truman Show was literally produced by the Rothschilds. You could look that up if you think I'm joking. That's in the credits and everything. People don't know that. It's a great movie regardless. But anyway, I don't know if that was like a joke that they were doing, like the Illuminati, like they're like, oh yeah, let's make this movie, The Truman Show. It'll be a great movie, but we'll leave some hints about how, yeah, we know the Earth is flat and we don't want anybody else to know, like kind of like an inside joke sort of thing, or I don't know, maybe they wanted to like get in on it and like keep an eye on it, like make sure like, okay, this is a good movie, but it has a lot of things people shouldn't know, so we need to produce it so that like they don't say too much. Maybe that's what they're thinking. That's just a guess. I'm not sure. But yeah, so yeah, back to North Korea. It's like that. Like think of the Truman Show. Like Dennis Rodman gets flied to North Korea, or well, he thinks it's North Korea. He gets flown to Korea, or flies to Korea in his private jet, or whatever. He's in Korea. Gets off the plane, he thinks it's North Korea just because everybody's telling him that. And then Kim Jong-un, who's just an actor, he's like he's like one of the other characters in the Truman Show, playing his role, like how in Truman, Jim Carrey's character in that film in the Truman Show, how he had like even his best friend was in on it. How he was an actor for the Truman Show, but that was his job. And he had to keep this illusion. So maybe it's like that, like virtually identical to the Truman Show, like in that sense. Like Dennis Rodman goes there. He genuinely believes he's actually in North Korea. Why wouldn't he? I mean, we're taught that North Korea is a real place, but it doesn't make sense when you think about it. Like, because like another thing, Kim Jong-un, if he's really that like unhinged and crazy and like, oh, he can blow us all up with all the nukes he has anytime he wants. Like he's just such a dangerous, crazy dictator. Like, this Kim Jong-un, he could just press the buttons on his keyboard at any time and launch the missiles to anywhere and just blow us all up. There's no way that would like they wouldn't allow that shit to fly. If there's really somebody that dangerous, first off, like, there's just, it's been going on for that long, like, because his, like how his father, Kim Jong-il, was like that, like a dictator and everything too. There's no way they would have let that go on for this long. It's still going on. That we have this like Lex Luthor, like level dangerous bad guy that can just do whatever the fuck he wants, and we just live in constant fear. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't believe it. Like, and you can't travel there. They say, well, you can't travel there because they're like, because like Kim Jong-un's gonna get you or whatever. Like, that's just ridiculous. I don't believe that either. So, Dennis Rodman, when you think about it, you look at all the evidence for what proof do we have that North Korea is real? What proof do we have that there's such a thing as North Korea? They're the only thing you can possibly use because Dennis Rodman says so. And I'm not saying he's lying. He might have been, and again, just a guess, he might have been deceived too in the manners I'm describing. Like, he's Truman. He's going into the Truman Show, and then all of a sudden this actor that's his friend, or he thinks is his friend, but it's really just an actor, playing the role of his friend, trying to trick Truman. That's Kim Jong-un. He's like, he's hanging out. He's like, yeah, Dennis Rodman, let's go shoot some hoops. And they start playing basketball with one another, and they become really good friends. And Dennis Rodman, he's like, oh man, yeah, that was a blast. And yeah, he's a cool guy, and he's chill, and I said to him, like, yo, Kim Jong-un, maybe don't like nuke everybody, whatever, and through the power of friendship, he stopped the war. But this is like still going on, so maybe he thought well, we've got this big like basketball star. He wants to fly here. He wants to bring world peace. And so maybe this is like a temporary thing. Kim Jong-un thought, okay, I got this. I'll do the Truman Show thing, like where I pretend to be his friend, and let things cool down, and then they can go back to pretending to fight and whatever, pretending to threaten us with nukes. Like, I don't think these nukes. I don't think that this North Korea even exists. It's just yeah. There's Korea, and people are in South Korea, and then this North Korea. Who knows if there's even land past there? I don't know. We can't travel there, even unless you're Dennis Rodman, and even so, you're not going there. You don't. He doesn't know where he's going. He could have been in South Korea, and he just gets off. It's like the set for the Truman Show, and they're like, "Yeah, you're in North Korea now," and he believes it. And then, not to say he's like stupid. I don't mean it like that either. But like, they could have tricked him into thinking it's in the same manner they trick Truman in the Truman Show, Jim Carrey's character. So yeah, it's all just so strange. There's no proof, and then the videos you have of like back before Kim Jong-un, before his reign, so his father, Kim Jong-il, I remember like when Kim Jong-il died, there were videos of people like crying, people in North Korea, you see on like on TV, on the news, like here in the States, like I'm in Chicago, when that happened, I turned on the news and they were talking about like, oh yeah, look how brainwashed North Korea is. And they had a video footage of all these people crying and sobbing, boo-hooing in the streets over the death of Kim Jong-il. And they were saying, yeah, that's how, even though Kim Jong-il, he was this like horrible dictator, the people were brainwashed into like loving him. And they were crying hysterically to the point where it didn't even seem like realistic. So that's the thing, like, if it doesn't seem realistic, I think the more plausible answer is maybe they were acting. This is like, it seemed like staged, that this guy is that evil or crazy or unhinged, and then he dies. You think everybody it'd be like the Wizard of Oz, when the Wicked Witch of the West, her sister was it the Witch of the East? I forget. When her sister is killed by the house falls on her. The house lands on her. Dorothy's house. Yeah. When she goes to Oz, I almost said Neverland. When she goes to Oz, and the house falls on her, it kills the evil witch, the first evil witch, the Wicked Witch of the West sister. Everyone, they're singing Ding Dong, the witch is dead. They're all happy. All the, what are they? Munchkins? No, that's Willy Wonka. Elves or whatever whatever they were. They come out and they're dancing and they're happy. That's what the way people would react to reality. If like this evil dictator suddenly died, they would be partying. They would be dancing and drinking, and yeah, they'd be having the time of their lives. They wouldn't be crying. Like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. Not in a rational world. So the North Korea, I mean, I don't really believe something till I see it, basically. Or I need to have, not necessarily just that. Okay, let me rephrase that. And it's more so not just that I need proof. I need a convincing argument, not even convincing evidence. I would need what seems more plausible. You say, okay, F. Gardner, what seems more realistic? Argument A or argument B, and you present me the either evidence or the logic or whatever arguments for the positions, and that's how F. Gardner makes up his mind. You tell me, okay, this is the arguments for this, and these are the arguments for this. Which seems more realistic? Which sounds more plausible, F. Gardner? And then I tell you my answer. And I'm looking at this. Argument A is Dennis Rodman said it's real. Argument 2 says it's not real. Well, it's not real makes more sense because I'm not seeing any proof other than just because Dennis Rodman said North Korea is a real place and that he's played basketball with Kim Jong-un. It does not convince me. It all just sounds totally batshit insane, everything about North Korea. And it's been going on for fucking forever, fucking like ages. It's been going on for ages. And this crazy, dangerous situation where we could get nuked any second is still going on. F. Gardner doesn't buy that. I don't buy it. It's silly. And the idea of saying North Korea doesn't exist probably sounds silly to people too. But think about it. When it's like flat Earth, that sounds silly at first to everybody. Saying North Korea doesn't exist sounds silly at first to everybody too. Yeah, so anyway, this is one of the lesser known, I guess, conspiracy theories that a lot of people probably aren't aware of. Like, it's not like one of the like entry-level conspiracy theories that, like, when you talk about, I don't know, like what happened to Kennedy or whatever, something like that, where it's everybody knows about, everybody's heard various theories, conspiracy theories about that, and things, and they have their different opinions about that. So this is one of the more lesser-known ones, but it's a contemporary one because it's still current. It's fascinating. Like, you look at it more and more, it's sort of like flat Earth too, in that sense, where it's like the more you look into it, the more convincing it becomes. Like, because one of the best ways to become a flat earther is like trying to prove the globe model, trying to prove the Earth is a globe to yourself. And the more you look into that, like if you try to prove the globe to yourself, if you try to prove to yourself that the Earth is a globe like they teach you, you will find you won't find any evidence. It's like the more you look, the less evidence you have, to the point where you realize it's there's no evidence. And it's like that with, and that's why what leads people to believe the Earth is flat. They see more evidence for the flat model than the globe model. So it's like that with North Korea, similarly, where it's the more you look into it, it's like, wait, how can I prove this? Oh, I can't fly there. I can't. How can I? And even if you could, how would you know? You wouldn't know if you're in. You wouldn't know if you're in North Korea or South Korea. You would have no way. It's just people telling you, unless you're the pilot, I guess. But even so, you need to follow like specific flight plans. I don't even know if even the pilot would be able to tell for sure, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, because you could be following a wrong map. And like, it doesn't, like, he could be looking at a map and he thinks it's like, oh yeah, this is going to take me to North Korea, but it's really taking me to South Korea. So even that doesn't make sense. So it's not that everybody who says they've been to North Korea is lying. It's not that, it's that they might genuinely like not know. Like, it might be like I said, like Dennis Rodman, like maybe he was flown to North Korea, or I don't know, maybe he has a pilot's license and he's rich enough to have a private jet. Maybe he hopped into his jet and went into the cockpit or whatever, and it flew there. He knows how to fly it himself, and thought he was genuinely landing in North Korea. The plane descends, he goes down, and then it gets out. Kim Jong-un's there, and he doesn't even question it. Because like I said, nobody would, unless you really look into it. And then the more you look into it, the less evidence you see. Is in the sense that there's no such thing as North Korea. It's just made up. Like, the more I looked into it, I thought, okay, well, maybe this conspiracy theory is true. Maybe it doesn't exist. And then it's like, whoa, no, this conspiracy theory is probably legit. It's probably, and then eventually you become convinced and you're thinking, no, this is true. That North Korea literally does not exist. They made it up. There's just, so it's Korea, but it's what we call South Korea. So like there's, you have probably no land at all past like what they're calling North Korea. It's all just, they have this like, I guess probably just the spots in Korea that they are like movie sets, like the Truman Show, and that's what they use. So like they fly Dennis Rodman to North Korea, but it's really just they're flying him to the like Truman Show kind of movie set, and he gets off and they tell him he's in North Korea and he thinks he's there, but really there's no such thing as North Korea. It doesn't exist. It's like Narnia. It's not real. Well, Truman Show, I guess, was more accurate comparison, more accurate analogy to, yeah. That's a better analogy, closest analogy probably to what I'm saying, in the sense that because it has actors, it's not really what it seems. It's like a deception or illusion. Like everybody around him, whoever's there, Dennis Rodman, who or thinks they're there, they're just at a movie set. They're like Jim Carrey in the Truman Show, like Truman on the Truman Show. Anyway, yeah. I hope you guys like this episode, and I'm not necessarily even trying to convince you that North Korea doesn't exist. I thought that would be I thought this would be a cool topic to talk about, because yeah, people like the Flat Earth episode that I did, and where I talked about other conspiracies, and I talked about how I'm Buddhist now and that and everything. But yeah, I was thinking a lot, thinking, F. Gardner, what's another good one I could do about conspiracy theories that are true? And is there one that a lot of people don't know about? Well, I guess a lot of people don't know about most conspiracies, but yeah, this one occurred to me. I thought, oh yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool to talk about. So, I mean, I respect what you guys believe, not trying to change your minds, but I'm a guy that feels compelled to be honest about what I think, what I believe is real or not real. So in North Korea, no, I don't think it's real. I don't think there's literally no such thing as North Korea. I think it's fictional, or is like a Truman Show movie set kind of thing. Like it's not a real place. They're not a threat, because it doesn't make sense. It's like saying a production of a play is a threat, like, and they have fake weapons like as props, and they're doing a production of a play. Well, the weapons aren't real. It's the play is a performance. It doesn't make sense. So the argument doesn't make sense. So it's like that with North Korea. They're not it doesn't make sense to say they're dangerous or what, because Kim Jong-un, he's an actor, and all the other people working for him are just actors too, like in the Truman Show. Like you look at the Truman Show, all the actors, they had like whatever, thousands of people in the Flat Earth Dome that the Truman Show took place in, and Jim Carrey's there. So it's like that. You just need one guy who thinks it's real, like Dennis Rodman, to go there, and then Kim Jong-un and all the other actors go in to convince him. So it's just one big movie set, one big Truman Show. That's what, actually, I don't even know if it's big in the sense that it might just be like part of South Korea that they do these videos, and this, like, just one little city in it, and one, or town even, because you wouldn't know that it's not like a whole country. If it could be just like one town. Like, for example, I live in Chicago, so if I go outside, I'm walking around downtown Chicago, it's like this, as far as I'm aware, is like the whole world, because this is all I'm seeing. So Dennis Rodman gets flown to one specific city or town, whatever, in Korea, South Korea, and it's made to be like a movie set, like the Truman Show. He would have no idea that it's not like this whole country, the separate country. It could just be one little town they have set up just to be like that. like in the Truman Show. Like I was just the one city or whatever where Jim Carrey was living in, or thought he was living in, because he never traveled outside of it. That's because they weren't letting him. So it could be something like that. Anyway, I think you guys get the point. I respect what everybody believes. If you want to believe in North Korea, fine, that's your business. I'm not going to tell you not to, but F. Gardner likes to tell the truth about what he thinks, and it is what it is. That's what I think. So yeah, North Korea, I don't buy it. I don't believe it exists. Yeah, hope you guys like the video. Catch you later.